Hello and welcome to or back to the channel, and welcome back to another episode of TEW2020 Predicts, the series where we use the magic 8-ball that is Total Extreme Wrestling to gaze into the future of a particular superstar or superstars and see what may be to come in their career. And today we go to NXT, and one of my favourite superstars on NXT. It's not in the shortlist. Where is she? Tiffany Stratton. Daddy's little rich girl. I am a big fan of Tiffany. She's just very good, isn't she? And she talks very well. And I have very high hopes for her, honestly. Only 24 years of age, 1 year of experience, a young lion, absolutely killing the game. Already very good in ring, very good on the mic. A high ceiling for the woman who did also just become the NXT Women's Champion. I'm shocked I haven't done an experiment on her already, but I'm kind of glad I waited, because now I can do it with her starting as the Women's Champion, and we will go from here. And without further ado, let's go forward to the end of the career of Tiffany Stratton and see what may be to come. How long will her NXT Women's title reign last? How long until she makes it onto the WWE main roster? How many women's titles can she win up there? Without further ado, let's find out. Let's simulate to the end of the career of Tiffany Stratton and look to answer that all-important question of what may be to come in the career of Daddy's little rich girl, Tiffany Stratton. Here we are, Monday, week 1, January 2047. So we've gone forward just under 24 years. Ace Austin is still going and the best wrestler in the world. TIFFY is the best company in the world. Aramis and Dragon Lee III are the best tag team. Match of the year belongs to ICW's Ace Austin versus Bobby Stevenson. Damon Kemp. Show of the year, TIFFY are killing the game, honestly. And Tiffany Stratton has retired and is in TIFFY. They are really killing it. Tiffany Stratton is retired, and she is a manager / commentator. I can see that. She's very good on the mic, so comms makes sense. And as a manager, also, yeah, she's gone from Daddy's Little Rick's show to Mommy. 25 years of experience. Looking at her headlines, extended her deal with WWE. She was called up to the main roster in February 2025, so just under 2 years. A little more time developing in NXT. She was very new on there already before she goes up. October 2026, sadly broke up with Axel Dieter Jr., Ludwig Kaiser. Sadly for them, love extending a WWE contract, and then 2039, 13 years after her relationship with Ludwig Kaiser ended, she found love once again with Fei Cheng Wang, Ru Feng, who honestly had a very good time himself. NXT Triple Crown winner with the tag team titles of Lewis Grove, North American title and NXT title, main roster 3-time Intercontinental Champion, US Champ, 8 tag titles, 6 with Lewis Grove, 1 with Bron Breakker, 1 with Quincy. I mean, he's not the experiment here, but Ru Feng absolutely killing the game as well and retired. He left the business entirely, and not only did he get all those titles, but he's also, as of 2046, engaged to Tiffany Stratton. So Ru Feng is the real winner of this experiment, I'm sure we'll agree. Tiffany deciding to leave WWE eventually, though, in 2045, after her contract expired, leaving WWE to go to TIFFY, where a lot of people are, staying in TIFFY until she retired in October 2046. In the end, Tiffany deciding to call it a day on her career in TIFFY for a very short time in the end. 2045, January 2045 to October 2046, so just under 2 years. Inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, though, so she must have had a very good career. Then check it out. She's still very popular, very good in ring. And title-wise, hell, Jesus Christ. We'll start with NXT. NXT Women's Champ. She held it from, she won it in May 2023, and she held it to October 2023. So, a 3-month reign. Good first reign. A decent little first reign. And then lost that in August 2023. Checking for any, Jesus Christ. And then she won it back in the end in July 2024, so 11 months later, until February 2025. So she held that for, 7 months, about 6-7 months. Yeah, only one defense both times, but she was the champ. She held it for a very long time. 2-time NXT Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton, called up to the main roster, and my word, she won a lot. First SmackDown Women's title in 2037, first Raw Women's title in 2026. The first title she won was the Raw Women's title, January 2026. So not 11 months after she was called up, till July 2026. So a good 6-month reign with 7 defenses. But then she didn't win the Raw Women's title again until 2039. And the SmackDown until 2037. She didn't win the Rumble or Money in the Bank until 2039, 2041. So she was a tag... Jesus Christ, she was a tag team player. July 2029 to April 2033, she was ingrained in the tag division. She won 10 women's singles titles. I think it might have been more. It could have, but I think when you become a tag team in TEW very pigeonholes you, and so she was cursed by being a very successful tag team with Gigi Dolan. 5-time WWE Women's Tag Champs with Gigi Dolan, January 2029 to 2030, 6 months. Yep, April 2030 to November 2030, 6 months. April 2031 to June 2031, 2 months. September 2031, winning a few months later, winning it back till July 2032, 10 months. January 2033 to April 2033, 3 months. So her and Gigi Dolan absolutely dominated the women's tag division. She won it a few times after breaking up with Gigi. She won it with Hayley J. May 2037 to January 2038. She has a lot of long title runs, honestly. 8 months, that one. Sierra and her held the title. June till September 2042. A short one there, 3 months. Mercedes Martinez and her winning the titles, 2043. January to May, 4 months. And her and Kayla Cassidy won it as well. July 2043 till December 2043, 5 months. 9-time women's tag champs. Tiffany Stratton dominated the women's tag division, but she also dominated the women's singles division. Because after breaking up with Gigi Dolan, winning some women's tag titles with other people, but on this as well. She became SmackDown Women's Champion August 2037 till January 2038. So 5 months, a nice little start. And then she won it back 3 months later, April 2038 to August 2038, 4 months. And then she won it back 3 months later, November 2038 till March 2049. So what's that, 4 months? 2039, she wins the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And then she goes and cashes it in on Raw, winning the Raw Women's title November 2039 till January 2040. Only 2 months, shorter reign this time. But then 6 months after losing the Raw Women's title, she's back on SmackDown, winning that. July 2040 till November 2040. 4 months, nice little reign. And then in 2041, she wins the Royal Rumble. She becomes a Women's Royal Rumble winner for the first time, and she uses it to win the SmackDown Women's title back at WrestleMania. Oh, Christ. Oh, God. Something 7. 57? Am I right? I think it might be 57. 40. I'm going to go 57. Yeah? 27 was 2011. So 30 years, yeah. At WrestleMania 57, having won the Rumble, she won the SmackDown Women's title. She held that for 3 months till July 2041. And then only 3 months later, she won it back in October 2041 till May 2042. Long reign, 7 months with that one. But after losing the SmackDown Women's title, she won the Women's Money in the Bank in July 2042. And she used that. No, she didn't. She used it. She failed the cash-in. She won in 2043, comes around. She wins the Women's Royal Rumble. She goes at WrestleMania again, WrestleMania 59, but comes up short on this occasion. But in the end, she does get it back. She wins Money in the Bank for a 2nd year in a row, July 2043, and she cashes in successfully at SummerSlam, August 2043, let's say, to win that SmackDown Women's title back. She holds it for 4 months till December 2043, a nice little reign. Not many defenses in her reigns, but very long reigns she's had throughout as well. And so yeah, she holds that for 4 months. 2044 comes around, and she wins only just under 2 months after losing the women's title. She wins it back, January 2044, week 1, April 2044. Just over 2 month reign, her final women's title reign. One more accolade to get though, Money in the Bank, 2044. 3 years in a row she won it, but she failed to cash in this time. So WWE-wise, you can see why she's in the Hall of Fame. 4-time Women's Money in the Bank winner, 2-time Women's Rumble winner, 2-time Raw Women's Champ, 8-time SmackDown Women's Champ, 10 times overall, as well as 9-time Women's Tag Champ. She dominated all divisions she entered over in WWE. And then she went to TIFFY and she capped off her career with one more title, did a 5 women's title, March 2046 to October 2046. 5 months. 7 months even, 8 defenses. Just capping off her career, proving that, she can leave WWE and still be successful. People on the internet have been saying, Tiffany can only do it in WWE, so she left, went to Defy, and she won the Defy Women's title before calling it a day on her career. Very successful career. You can't argue with this career from Tiffany Stratton. This is successful as hell. And fair enough, Tiffany's very good. So I don't know if she'll get to this extreme of very good, but I do see a very good career in her future. Achievement-wise, she entered the Power 500 in 2023. She was 314, 349, 141, 122, 113, 123. 2029, she's not in it. 2030, she's back in it. 166, right up there. Then 2031, 32, and 33, she is not in the Power 500. But in 2034, she's straight back into it. So those years are kind of the years she's stuck in the tag team with Gigi Dolan. She's not really showing herself off as much. Then, Gigi leaves, 83. Back into the list and back in at 83, dominating, and she stays in the top 83. I'm going to say she stays in those double digits, but only double digits. She never breaks into single digits, sadly, but double digits, she's there. 83 in 2034, 2035 is 75, 36, she's not in it, 37, she's 62, 57, 47, 41, 38, 24, 20, then she starts falling, 32, 38, 44, and then, she calls a day on her career at last. On 44, best wrestler in the world is pretty good. An absolutely stacked trophy cabinet for Tiffany Stratton. Match-wise, across her career, what are we looking at? Average rating of 62, end of career, she started slowing down a bit, putting on 54s, but highest rating of 82, positive record, 384 wins, 213 losses, so very positive record. Honestly, it talked how underused she was as well, even with that title collection, because we're 24 years in the future, and she only fought 597 times, which is insane, honestly. Her last ever match was a win at the Fire City of Thorns against Mildred Huete and Emily Big here. That's definitely their names. And I'm going to look for that 82. See how she's been getting on. It's here. 2025. She was called up to the main roster, and she immediately had the best match of her career at WrestleMania. Becky Lynch defeating Rhea Ripley, Tiffany Stratton, and Bayley. The 4 horsewoman going at it at WrestleMania at last, at WrestleMania 41. Tiffany just doing very well, honestly. I mean, look at this. She was doing well. She got stuck in this tag team with Gigi Dolan, called Showtime. Gigi Dolan and Tiffany Stratton, Showtime. 2029, she fought 4 times. They lost fighting for the women's tag titles. They won them back, and then one was in January, and then 3 in July, and then not for the rest of the year. And the women's tag champs, for Christ's sake. 2030, she fought 15 times, pretty much all in tag team matches. 2031, only 6 times tag matches again. 2032, she fought once, for Christ's sake, losing for the women's tag titles against Rachel Rose and Cora Jade. Tiffany Stratton, what was she doing? She was putting on 83 in-ring performances, for Christ's sake. And yet she was not getting used. 1 match all year. 2033, it's the same story. 7 matches. 2034, 10 matches. But then, what happens? Gigi seemingly leaves. And Tiffany's fighting more again. 15 matches in 2035. Only 3 in 2036. Nope, Gigi's not gone. Gigi is gone. 2037, Gigi's gone. 28 matches. And only 28 matches, she becomes a SmackDown Women's Champion. And look at that. The amount of matches she's fighting in severely increases. So, I mean, TEW predicts WWE will continue to incredibly ignore the women's tag division, which, I mean, a fair shout from TEW, honestly. But overall, I'd like to look at the Fire. AEW died as always, but the Fire, with Jim Perry in charge, is going from strength to strength. Number 7th best rest company in the world. Voted the best company in the world. Big 5 of Ilya Dragunov, Takashita, Wesley, Hook, and Gable Steveson. Okay, the Fire. They got Billy Starks, Latigo Jr. right at the top for them. somehow. Ilya killing it. All their titles are like tag champs, Jay Malachi and Jason Hotch. Women's championship vacant. Hook on charge, feuding with Ilya Dragunov. You love to see it. Dijak's not in NXT. He's usually the one who gets stuck here. John Blood's in charge. Steph's in charge. The Big Five are curious. Tyler Alexander. Austin Theory. Butch. Lewis Grove, who Rufeng won some titles with. And Bandido Jr. And if you're curious on champion-wise, WWE Champion. Undisputed Universal Champion, shall we say, is Bandido Jr. WWE World Heavyweight Champion, I'm going to have to get used to these new titles, is Lewis Grove. Women's Tag Titles vacant, ignored as always. Jesus Christ, US Champ. They have so many vacant titles, for Christ's sake. Stephanie, please. Stephanie's got to fix this. The Raw Women's title has been vacant since May last year. 7 months. SmackDown Tag title was vacant since August 2045. Over a year, 16 months. SmackDown Women's title vacant since August 2046. 4 months. US title has a champ. Women's tag title, December 2043. Just vacate them. Just defunct it at this point. Retire the belts. It's been 3 years just over, Steph. Call it a day. Bandido and Austin Theory. So Bandido is a double champ. He's Undisputed Universal Champion. He's Raw Tag Champ with Austin Theory. In the Continental title is top dollar. What a show. Women's Rumble. There hasn't been a Women's Royal Rumble match in 2 years. It'll be 3 years this year. Steph, what are you doing? There hasn't been a Women's Money in the Bank either. Tiffany won it 4 years in a row and they retired it. Selena won it 8 years. 8 times. What is that? 4 years in a row and then 8 times overall. Christ, Tiffany won it 4 out of 5 years. Pretty good. Undisputed Universal Champion, Bandido, of course. Royal Rumble hasn't been fought for in 2 years. Well, there wasn't fought for last year. Mello won it. Didn't get fought for last year. Men's Money in the Bank. Stephanie, what company are you running? $778 million. And Stephanie is phoning this in. Steph, what is happening? Raw and SmackDown are off air. They're just a pay-per-view show now. They do on-demand main event. Well, they did main event. WWE is just a pay-per-view show now. They don't do a weekly television show. All right, Steph. All right. Jesus Christ. That's going to be it for today, I think. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on the career of Tiffany Stratton. Would she be happy with this? I think, hell yes. I mean, 4 women's Money in the Banks, 2 women's Rumbles, 10 women's singles titles, 9-time women's tag champ. And happily in love with Ru Feng. What more could you want from the world? Hall of Famer as well. I think she'd be very happy with that. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on the career of Tiffany Stratton, or maybe the career of Tiffany Stratton. Let me know any other superstars you'd like to see this type of experiment done with. I think the next one is on Ilya Dragunov, another guy I looked at and thought, how have I not done one on you already? So yeah, Ilya's next, and anyone else you want to see, let me know. And yeah, as always, I just want to say a very special thank you for watching. Leave a like if you have enjoyed, subscribe for more, and as always, I just want to say a very special thank you for watching.